All across our planet, there are places so secret, so dangerous, or so sacred that they're completely locked away from the rest of us. But what if you could get a peek behind the curtain? Today, we're exploring the world's most forbidden locations. From top-secret military bases hiding next-gen tech to islands ruled by tribes who've never seen the modern world, the stories behind these places are just unbelievable. So let's dive in. Kicking off our list at number 10 is an island paradise you can't just buy a ticket to. Welcome to Niihau, Hawaii, better known as the Forbidden Island. Floating just 17 miles southwest of Kauai, this 70-square-mile island is privately owned, and getting on it is next to impossible. Back in 1864, the Sinclair family bought the island from King Kamehameha V for $10,000 in gold. They gave the king their word that they would preserve the island's unique Hawaiian culture and its native language. To make good on that promise, they cut it off from the outside world. Today, their descendants keep that legacy alive. You won't find any paved roads or hotels here. Only about 70 residents call Niihau home, living a traditional lifestyle mostly free of modern conveniences. The only way you're setting foot on this island is with a personal invitation, or on highly controlled visits that keep you to deserted beaches. This strict isolation has turned Niihau into a living, breathing cultural time capsule. Welcome to Niihau, Hawaii, better known as the Forbidden Island. Floating just 17 miles southwest of Kauai, this 70-square-mile island is privately owned, and getting on it is next to impossible. Back in 1864, the Sinclair family bought the island from King Kamehameha V for $10,000 in gold. They gave the king their word that they would preserve the island's unique Hawaiian culture and its native language. To make good on that promise, they cut it off from the outside world. Today, their descendants keep that legacy alive. You won't find any paved roads or hotels here. Only about 70 residents call Niihau home, living a traditional lifestyle mostly free of modern conveniences like indoor plumbing. The only way you're setting foot on this island is with a personal invitation from the Robinson family or a resident. The only other exception? Booking a spot on one of their highly controlled helicopter tours or hunting safaris. Even then, you're kept on deserted beaches, far from the locals. This strict isolation has turned Niihau into a living, breathing cultural time capsule. Coming up next, a fortress that has become a byword for impenetrability. Number 9 is a place whose name is basically a synonym for impossible to break into. The United States Bullion Depository in Fort Knox, Kentucky. It's one of the most famous vaults on Earth, and for good reason. It was designed to be completely off-limits. Right now, Fort Knox is sitting on a staggering 147.3 million troy ounces of gold, which is about half of all the gold the U.S. Treasury has. Built in 1936, the place is a fortress of granite, concrete, and steel. What we know publicly is that it has a 22-ton vault door, armed guards, and cameras everywhere. But the full details of its security are a top government secret. They say no single person even knows all the steps to open the vault. Its entire job is to store a huge chunk of America's gold reserves. Visitors are never, ever allowed. In its entire history, the no visitors rule has been bent only a handful of times for people like President Franklin D. Roosevelt and a few members of Congress. And while rumors and conspiracy theories about what's really inside never seem to die, the U.S. Mint promises that every last ounce of gold is present and accounted for. When you're protecting that much wealth, you can't take any chances. At number 8, we trade gold for secrets, guarded in a different way. Our 8th spot holds something far more valuable than gold: secrets. We're talking about the Vatican Apostolic Archives, tucked away inside Vatican City. It's a private collection of historical documents stretching back more than 1,000 years, from official state papers to the Pope's personal letters. Now, the word secret didn't actually mean clandestine, it just meant private, as in the Pope's personal files. But to help clear up some of the wilder conspiracy theories, Pope Francis officially changed the name in 2019. Getting in is still incredibly exclusive. It's closed to the public. Only a few highly qualified scholars, after a tough application process, are allowed in. Even then, they can only request specific documents to read, and only 60 scholars are allowed inside on any given day. The archives hold an estimated 53 miles of shelving, packed with documents that chart the course of world history. This secrecy has fueled endless legends of hidden gospels, suppressed science, and dark historical truths. The reality is likely more about preserving fragile records, but the sheer volume of what we haven't seen makes the Vatican archives one of the most tantalizing forbidden places on the planet. Next, a mountain you can't climb, not because it's impossible, but because it's sacred. At number 7, we're heading to the remote Himalayas of Tibet, to a place forbidden not by guards, but by God. This is Mount Kailash, a stunning 638-meter peak that has never been climbed. Mount Kailash is a stunning 638-meter peak that has never been climbed. And it's not because it's too hard, it's because climbing it is an absolute taboo. Mount Kailash is a deeply sacred place for 4 major religions: Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and Bon. Hindus see it as the home of Lord Shiva, while Buddhists believe the deity Demchok resides there. To even try to climb Mount Kailash would be seen as a profound act of disrespect. It would be like desecrating a holy site. Out of respect, the Chinese government has officially banned climbing expeditions on the mountain. Legends even tell of strange weather suddenly appearing to stop anyone who gets too close, adding to its sacred and forbidden aura. A place forbidden not by barbed wire, but by belief and respect. For number 6, we travel to one of the most remote places you can imagine, Heard Island, an Australian territory in the ice-cold Southern Ocean. It's forbidden because of its extreme isolation and fragile environment. Heard Island is about 2/3 of the way from Madagascar to Antarctica, and it's forbidden because of its extreme isolation and its incredibly fragile environment. Heard Island is a formidable volcanic place, dominated by a massive active volcano called Big Ben. Its landscape is a dangerous mix of glaciers, deep ravines, and unstable ground. But the main reason it's off limits is to protect the island itself. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site and a rare sub-Antarctic ecosystem. It serves as a vital breeding ground for penguins, seals, and seabirds. The Australian government has a strict no-visitor policy to keep this pristine environment safe. Getting permission to land is almost impossible. The journey alone takes 2 weeks by boat through some of the roughest seas in the world. Heard Island is forbidden so that a truly wild place can stay wild. Our 5th entry is a place that's been sealed for millennia by both history and fear, the tomb of China's first emperor, Qin Shi Huang. Found by farmers in 1974, this massive underground complex is famous for its army of terracotta warriors. Found by farmers in 1974, this massive underground complex is famous for its army of thousands of life-sized terracotta warriors. But while archaeologists have explored the area around the tomb, the central mound where the emperor himself lies buried remains untouched and sealed for over 2,200 years. When the terracotta warriors were first uncovered, their bright paint flaked off almost immediately when exposed to the air. Scientists worry our current tech just isn't good enough to excavate the main chamber without ruining its contents. An ancient historian wrote that the tomb was filled with deadly traps, like crossbows rigged to fire on anyone who entered. He also described rivers of liquid mercury. Modern surveys have found extremely high levels of mercury in the soil around the tomb. Out of respect for the dead, and maybe a healthy fear of the unknown, the emperor's final resting place remains a forbidden mystery. For now, the terracotta stand guard while the central chamber waits, sealed by history and caution. Deep inside a mountain on the Norwegian island of Svalbard, halfway to the North Pole, sits the Svalbard Global Seed Vault. It's often called the Doomsday Vault, and it's basically the world's ultimate insurance policy for our food supply. The vault's mission is to store backup copies of seed samples from gene banks all over the globe. As of 2025, it holds over 1.3 million seed varieties, protecting our crop diversity from disasters like war, climate change, or disease. The location is perfect. The natural permafrost keeps everything frozen, and its remote setting protects it from human conflict. Access is incredibly restricted. The vault opens its doors only a few times a year for new seed deposits. When a crucial gene bank in Syria was damaged by the civil war, seeds were withdrawn from Svalbard to rebuild the collection. No one gets inside except authorized staff. It's a black box system. Only depositors can withdraw their seeds. This vault is off limits to ensure humanity has what it needs to start over if the worst happens. At number 3, we've got the place that has probably launched more conspiracy theories than anywhere else on Earth. Area 51. This top-secret U.S. Air Force base is hidden away at Groom Lake, deep in the Nevada desert. The entire base is a no-fly zone, protected by motion sensors, 24/7 surveillance, and armed guards who are authorized to use deadly force. Officially, Area 51 is a testing ground for experimental aircraft and new weapons. It's the birthplace of some of the most advanced planes ever built. Many reported UFOs were likely experimental test flights of strange new aircraft. But even with that explanation, theories about crashed alien ships and reverse-engineered tech just won't go away. Whether it's hiding aliens or just next-generation drones, the absolute ban on public access makes Area 51 one of America's most fascinating and forbidden places. Number 2 on our list is a place ripped straight from your worst nightmares: Snake Island. Its real name is Ilha da Queimada Grande, but everyone just calls it Snake Island. Sitting about 20 miles off the coast of Brazil, this island is so deadly that the Brazilian government has made it illegal for anyone to go there. Why? The island is crawling with thousands upon thousands of golden lancehead pit vipers, one of the most venomous snakes in the world. Some estimates suggest a snake density as high as 1 per square meter in certain spots. This snake evolved here after rising sea levels cut the island off from the mainland thousands of years ago. Its venom can be up to 5 times stronger than mainland cousins and can cause fatal wounds. The ban is there to protect people and to protect the critically endangered snakes from poachers. Only a few scientists and the Brazilian Navy, who service an automated lighthouse there, are ever allowed to land, and they do it with extreme caution. And finally, at number 1, we've arrived at what is arguably the most forbidden place on Earth, North Sentinel Island in the Bay of Bengal. This small, dense island is home to the Sentinelese people, one of the last tribes on the planet to remain completely uncontacted by the outside world. They have lived in near-total isolation for up to 60,000 years, preserving a way of life that predates the invention of agriculture. The Sentinelese are fiercely protective and have rejected every attempt at contact, often violently. They've been known to attack boats and helicopters with spears and arrows to defend their island. In 2018, an American missionary who went to the island illegally was killed by the tribe. The Indian government has made it illegal to travel within 5 nautical miles of the island. This law protects outsiders, but more importantly, protects the Sentinelese. After so long in isolation, they have no immunity to common diseases. Contact could easily trigger an epidemic that would wipe them out completely. From sacred peaks to secret vaults and islands lost in time, these places are a powerful reminder that some parts of our world are simply not for us. Whether they exist to guard national secrets, preserve fragile nature, or protect an ancient culture, their stories are absolutely captivating. Which one of these places fascinated you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this trip into the unknown, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more explorations of our incredible world. Thanks for watching.